Hello dear students of 10th standard. We are going to solve some of the questions which are in the MCQ pattern related to the chapters 7, 1, 2 and 3. The first question, let us take this. The phenomenon of closing leaves in touch me not plant or the sensitive plant is an example for. The answer is seismotrophism. Now let us discuss some of the other questions which can appear for this concept. You have seen the sensitive plant which will be normally appearing like this, but when we touch it, it will close the leaves like this. What is the actual mechanism of closing of the leaves? This can be the question. The closing of leaves depends upon the amount of water present in the leaves. The more the amount of the water in the leaves, the more will be turgidity inside the cells. And the cells become swollen and then it helps to open the leaves. Now, the other questions can come like this. Is seismotrophism a trophic movement, a real trophic movement in plants? The answer should be no, seismotrophism is not a trophic movement. It is just a immediate response to the touch stimulus. Now, how is it different from the other trophic movements such as phototrophism, geotrophism and hydrotrophism? All these three trophic movements as well as the chemotrophic movement, they are associated with the growth of the plant. A particular part may grow or the whole plant may grow towards the stimulus such as light, gravity, water as well as some chemicals. But seismotrophism is an immediate response. It doesn't involve the growth movements in the parts of the plant. Now, another question which can appear from this part is how the seismotrophism, though it is immediate response, is different from the immediate responses or movements shown by the animals. Now we compare the tissues involved. The tissues involved in the plant are, sensitive plant are only the cells which are able to gain the water or lose the water. But in animals, it is the protein which helps in the muscle cells. The protein helps in the contraction and relaxation of the muscles. By that way, it helps in the movement of the muscles. And even the nervous system and the hormonal system is involved in the animal's movement or the stimulus response theory. But in plants, like sensitive plant, only the cells which absorb the water or lose the water to bring about the movement in the body. Let us move to the second question. The function of cerebellum is, there are different functions, controls the facial expression or thinking or memory or controlling body balance or controlling heartbeat. These all functions are related to different parts of the brain. As you know, the brain structure will be asked in the exam. It is very important from the point of view of drawing the diagram. And if it is given, the drawing is given, there may be the direct name of the parts which will be asked for labeling. But if it is so, it is easy. But otherwise, they may give the function of particular part and ask you to label that part. So let us take the question in that way. Now, controlling body balance is the correct answer for cerebellum. Then facial expression is controlled by the other part, which is even in the hind brain portion, that is pons. Then the second part which appears there is medulla. Medulla controls the heartbeat and other functions which are involuntary, such as blood pressure, secretion of the glands, that kind of functions. And controlling thinking and memory is purely related to the cerebrum. Cerebrum, which includes 80% of the brain, and it is the part of the forebrain. Now there may be another question like, which part is not the part of the brain but it is related to the endocrine or the secretion of hormone? The secretion of hormone is related to pituitary gland. It is an endocrine gland which secretes the growth hormone. Though it is below the brain, it is not related to the nervous system. Now let us move to the third question. The question is like this: copper and aluminium are used to make electrical wires. Name the properties of these metals responsible for this choice. Now the correct answer is, to make the electrical wire, we should be able to draw the given metal into wires, thin wires. And also they should be very good at electrical conductivity. So B is the correct answer. Now let us discuss some other questions also. D, high resistivity. Where we need high resistivity? In the heat producing electrical devices such as the geysers and the heaters. The metals cannot be used, the alloys will be used because their resistivity will be higher than the pure metals. Malleability. Malleability is the property of the metals to be beaten into the thin sheets. So to make the vessels or to make some thin sheets which are used for the doors and the roof, this malleability property is desired. If thermal conductivity is asked, even for the vessels, thermal conductivity is needed. And also, where the heat has to be conducted, that kind of materials can use this property. Now let us move to the fourth question. Choose the combination of the symbols of the metals which has the descending order of the reactivity from the list of the chemical symbols given below. Now the given metals are like this: iron, gold, silver, sodium and zinc. The highest reactive metals from the reactivity series, if you refer, is Na, sodium, and then comes the zinc, Zn, then followed by iron, Fe, silver, Ag, and lastly the gold, Au. So the descending order will be highest reactive metal appearing at the first and the least reactive metal appearing at the last of the arrangement is Na, Zn, Fe, Ag and Au. And this kind of questions are very likely to appear in the main exams also. So be careful while choosing the symbols. You should be perfect in the symbols, and also you should be perfect in the arrangement from top to bottom of the reactivity series. And then we will move to the next question. Fifth question is like this: the process of conversion of metallic sulfide into metallic oxide is dash. Metallic sulfides will be converted to metallic oxide only by passing the oxygen at high temperature. So oxide will be formed only by passing the oxides. So roasting is the correct answer. Roasting is heating the metallic sulfides in presence of excess air. If we refer to the calcination process, only the carbonates have CO3 group. As there is oxygen already there in the carbonate, we need not supply the oxygen. So by calcination process, by heating at high temperature without passing the oxygen, the carbonates will become the oxides. For example, zinc carbonate becomes zinc oxide and carbon dioxide gets released. Now roasting is zinc sulfide ZnS plus 3O2 in presence of oxygen. When heated, zinc oxide and sulfur dioxide are formed. These two steps are the intermediate steps before these oxides are converted to the respective metals by the process called reduction. In a reduction process, which will be the next step after this roasting and calcination, we convert the oxide of the metal into the metal itself. Refining is the process which comes even after that. After getting the metal which is already reduced, it may contain some impurities in very trace amount. So we have to convert that impure metal into pure metal by refining process. And you can refer to the electro-refining process of the copper metal, which is given in your textbook, and it is there for the diagram as well as the questions and answers. Now, sixth question, let us refer there. The condition in which the glucose level in the blood increases and it is excreted through urine. It is due to the less production of dash hormone from dash gland. At the end of the 7th chapter, there is a tabulation of the glands with their respective hormones and their functionalities. You have to refer to that table to understand all this. You should know all the hormones and their respective glands also. Here, the hormone which is less in the patient's blood is insulin hormone, and the gland which releases insulin is pancreatic gland or pancreas. Now the condition is actually the diabetes. Now when diabetic patient has the highest glucose amount in the blood flowing, his kidneys will filter the glucose out and the urine will contain the sugar amount. So when urine is tested, it will show the presence of sugar in it, as well as the blood will have more quantity of sugar. The other symptoms of the diabetic patient will be frequent urination, tiredness, and the other side effects will be it can lead to heart attack and the stroke in the brain, as well as the diabetic retinopathy. Now let us move to the 7th question. The products of chloralkali process are, here there is the structure of chloralkali process. You just refer that NaCl solution is the reactant. NaCl is the reactant. It is treated with water, and when the electricity is passed through the NaCl solution, it undergoes electrochemical dissociation into 3 products, that is sodium hydroxide, chlorine, and hydrogen gas. Now let us see. The sodium hydroxide is used in degreasing of the metals, and it is the raw material for soaps and detergents. It is also used in paper making and artificial fibers making like nylon, terylene, etc. Now at anode, that is positive electrode, we get chlorine gas as the product. Chlorine is very important gas which is used in the water treatment plants and also to kill the germs in the swimming pools. and it is used in the PVC production and used as the disinfectant, and it is also a raw material for chlorofluorocarbons and pesticides. At the cathode, you have the hydrogen gas coming out. That hydrogen gas is highly inflammable gas. It is a combustive gas, so it is used as the fuel. And it is also used as the raw material for the production of ammonia and chemical fertilizers and margarine. So these are the three products of sodium chloride electrolytic dissociation, that is chloralkali process. Sodium hydroxide, hydrogen gas and chlorine gas. A is the correct answer. You may be asked about the uses of these products also, and also you may be asked about the chemical equation related to the chloralkali process. So be prepared for the different kinds of questions which may appear for this chloralkali process. And you may be asked why it is called as chloralkali process also. Chlor means chlorine gas is produced, and alkali means NaOH is an alkali soluble base. So chloralkali process is the name given to the chemical process. Now let us see the 8th question. The silver nitrate solution reacts with sodium chloride solution. The resulting precipitate is dash. It is dash chemical reaction. The resulting precipitate is AgCl or silver chloride, and it is the double displacement reaction. You can see another example given in your textbook. Na2SO4 plus BaCl2. That means both are the aqueous solutions of the salts, sodium sulfate and barium chloride. Two salts are mixed and you are getting new two salts, that is barium sulfate and sodium chloride. They have exchanged their groups. In the same way, this example also includes two aqueous solutions of the salts like sodium chloride and AgNO3, that is silver nitrate. We are getting silver chloride and NaNO3, that is sodium nitrate. So you will have AgCl, that is silver chloride, as the precipitate, which is white colored, and this reaction is called as double displacement because two ions are exchanged. 9th question. If the pH of toothpaste is 5.2 pH refers to the acidity of the solution. So if the toothpaste is acidic, generally you know that the toothpaste will be basic. Their pH will be more than 8 or 8.5, but they are mild bases. Then you have to read these statements which are appeared here. A protective material for the teeth enamel. Will it be protective material for the tooth enamel? No. If the pH will be of 5.2, then it will be definitely harmful for the teeth, as acidic toothpaste will dissolve the enamel itself. So a protective material for teeth enamel is the wrong statement. It decreases the microbial activity in the mouth, it is given. Microbes are more active in the acidic media. So it increases the microbial activity in the mouth. So the given statement B is wrong. It helps in whitening the teeth easily. No, when there is more microbial activity, when the enamel is getting corroded by the acidity of the toothpaste, the teeth will not become whitened, it will become more and more yellowish. Then the D statement is increases the acidity of the mouth, it should be. But this statement appears to be correct. It is the direct statement The pH of the toothpaste, if it is 5.2, then acidity of the mouth will increase. Teeth enamel is going to get lost by corrosion, and microbial activities will continue to become more and more faster, and the teeth may lose its white color also in course of time. So the toothpaste must not be the pH of 5.2. It should be above 8 or 9. Now, the tissue which conducts the food materials upward and downwards in the plant is, so the correct answer is phloem. Phloem is the tissue which conducts the food sap in the plants. As the leaves will be on the top of the plant, the leaves produce the food and supply the same food to other parts. It can be supplied to the flowers or seeds which are on the top of the plants above the leaves, as well as the food, if it is stored in the roots like carrot, beetroot, like that, they can be taken upwards to the growing leaves or growing parts of the plants when the plant gets sprouted. Now let us see this. What are the different parts of the phloem? Phloem tissue appears to be like this. The yellow colored material in the sieve tube, it is nothing but the proteins which help in the conduction of the food. It can be upward or downward. Whenever you see the sieve pores which control the amount of food which is transported in the phloem sieve tubes, you can directly say that this is definitely the phloem. And the companion cell, which is pink in color, which helps in the controlling of the food stuff in the sieve tubes. And phloem parenchyma helps in the storage of the excess food. And there will be phloem fiber also, which is not shown here, but it is the supportive tissue which gives the mechanical support to the phloem. And the conduction of food in the phloem is called as translocation of the solutes. Solutes are nothing but the byproducts of the photosynthesis, like food materials in the form of glucose and so many other amino acids, fatty materials, vitamins and minerals. So these are all translocated in the phloem itself. So these are the questions what I included in this part. Let us hope that so many questions are there which can be converted to the application level questions, and they can be even converted to 2 marks questions or 3 marks questions. Which concepts I have involved here, they are very important from the point of view of examination. Study well and do well in the exams. Best of luck.